No? Okay.
No, you did good enough.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Watch Autumn Keto Morning Live. My name is Autumn. This is my husband, Richard, and we go live every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And then on Wednesdays, we go live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for #Whack Wednesday. So subscribe to our channel, Watch Autumn Keto, so that you get notified whenever we go live or whenever I post a new video. Smash the Crate is coming out today. So make sure to tune in, see whether or not you were the winner of that keto crate. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for joining us. You can find us on the internet right here at Watch Autumn Keto everywhere. Over there, right? And then over here, you can get you some keto gear at IamKetoStrong.com. Yes, absolutely. Yep. On these morning lives, we talk about keto. We talk about our lives. We talk about how keto fits into our lives together. And then we just check in with the Wax fam. Yeah. And we invite you to join us in person. Right? Talk about live. We're going to get live and in person. We invite you to join us at Keto Palooza this year, presented by Keto Chow. It is an in-person meetup, a keto family reunion like no other. The second annual happening in Louisville, Kentucky. Yes. You can go to the link in the description box below to get information and to buy tickets. We would love to see you there. Okay, hop into the comments. Did you change your shirt? Is that the same shirt?
Why?
Because it looks straight.
This is a different shirt.
It's a different.
Yes.
You guys, you remember when I was screen printing? There was one shirt. It was white, isn't it? It's a red shirt, and it has white writing. It has this exact thing on it. Watch Autumn Keto, but it's just like shifted over to. It is so off center. He was wearing that shirt earlier this morning, and I was like, all you're doing is reminding me of my screen printing failures.
There's nothing wrong with that shirt.
Yeah, so clearly I was like, this one looks straight. Is this another shirt?
Yes, this is another shirt.
No,
I like that shirt. It has sound flair.
No, it is a mistake. Exactly, it is. It's more of like a diagonal. It's hilarious.
I enjoy.
Joyce is here. Says, good morning, amazing Whack fam. No live for me today. Heading to Bushnell to check out some things. Catch you on the replay. Hi, Joyce. Give me #Joyce replay in the comments. It says, and yes, lately I have been self-sabotaging. Ugh, I know how that feels. Kelly said, good morning, everybody. Sarah's here. Says, hello, people. TC's here. Says, happy Sunday, everyone. Blue Dove said, good morning, all. Got to hang out with the Hungry Horde head honchos last night. We had a blast. Well, that's amazing.
Oh, wow.
In Texas somewhere? What's going on?
That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, it says, I know. I'm jealous too. It says, how was the meetup? Exactly. Mary T's here. Says, good morning, Whack fam. Happy Sunday. It's cooling today. Only going to be 91 this afternoon. Great subject today. I know, right?
Well, just close your eyes, Mary, and remember what winter feels like.
So the title of today's video is Do You Self-Sabotage? So we'll get into that in a little bit. Robin's here, says good morning. Joe Ray's here, says good morning. Pamela said morning. Blue Dove said the food was delicious and I got to meet Dr. Barry. Absolutely amazing. Where did this happen? Like, where was there some sort of keto event?
Some magical place.
John is here, says, hey, y'all, happy Sunday.
Good
Shelby's
morning,
here,
John.
says, morning, Whack fam. Gigi's here, says, good morning, Mr. and Mrs. How are you today? We're doing great. He said, hey-o, I'm not reading that. Okay, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious Sunday. Okay, well, as long as it was the actual word and I didn't have to really, think about it. To you all work jobs, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Yes, thank you so much, Heath. Shelby said, did you ever go down the Raven Simone rabbit hole? No, I didn't, because I literally forgot about it until right now. And I'm like, oh, man, I really do need to go down that rabbit hole. So, yes, but I also want to work today of Raven Simone doing keto.
A bunch of stuff.
Well, she's keto.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
on YouTube?
Yes,
oh,
YouTube.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly. I love Raven Simone.
I thought you just meant like watching a bunch of her shows.
I would do that too. I love Raven Simone, right?
Is that a thing?
Lisa J's here says, good morning. And yes, I do self-sabotage and allow my husband to get in on the sabotagery as well. Yeah. I mean, look, don't get me wrong.
We gotta be
self-sabotage is one thing, but when you enable people to enable you, and so you try to make it seem like it's their fault, but you know it's your fault because you're letting them do that. Like, that's a whole other trickery of itself. I mean, the Warden's here says good morning.
Has layers.
Yes, there are layers to the sabotagery.
Like a wonderful onion.
Beth is here, says good morning, Whack fam. Hi, Beth. How you doing? I'm glad you're here today. Maybelline is here, says good Sunday morning, Whack fam.
I think it kind of
TC said, yes, I'm the queen of self-sabotage.
I think it kind of boils down to just being honest with ourselves. You know, like that's the point of sabotage. Is like you can't sabotage what you're honest with. Like you're just like, no, it won't happen because of this, and that. Like if you keep getting upset stomachs because you overeat or something, then like, why am I?
It's a Goody Beats meetup.
Well, because you're gonna keep eating. Slow that down. Like it's a slow, quit gorging yourself kind of thing. It's like
easier said than done.
Eventually, you can bump your head 2,000 times.
Tangela's here. Says, good morning, y'all. It is. It takes
years. But when you finally learn it, it's hard to bend that thing back. They got to bend it. It's hard to unlearn everything we learned growing up.
Yes, he said we attended a meetup hosted by Goody Beats in San Marcos, Texas.
Nice.
That's awesome. Oh, look, Heath over here said I spoke to Dr. Barry and he said that he's attending Keto Palooza.
Nice.
Break the news. Why don't you drop the bomb? Yeah, Dr. Barry is going to be our keynote speaker at Keto Palooza. So he'll be there in Louisville, Kentucky. And so I'm really excited about that.
Yay.
Everyone, that has tickets, you'll see Dr. Barry. Everyone that doesn't have tickets, get tickets, and then you get to see Dr. Barry. I met him at KetoCon 2019, and he is just the best, one of the best people in person I've ever met. First of all, he's great on the internet, right? Like I love his straight, to it, no nonsense style of teaching. But just in person, first of all, he's huge. He's like 6'4", like huge. Second of all, he's so nice and he's just so personable. And he lives in Nashville. And I was like, okay, Nashville's not too far away. So I just want to see if like Dr. Barry could come. And then he was just like, oh my God, yes. And I was like, So don't worry, you'll see a lot more like the official announcement. You all are hearing it here first, right? You'll see the official announcements coming next week. Because once again, I said I'm starting a marketing campaign, right? I want to get these last 20 tickets sold so that we can be done with it, so that we can know who we're riding with, right? And that we can just close that part of, right? So so I know that letting people know that Dr. Barry is going to be in his house, that might get some people off the fence. If you were thinking like, do I really need to come? First of all, yes, because we're in the whole WAC fam's going to be here and it's going to be an amazing experience. But secondly, is this your chance to meet Dr. Barry in person or what? Like, go for it. Dana said, good morning, WAC fam. The question should be, does anyone not self-sabotage? Exactly. I think we're all guilty on some level. You're right. Rita Rex here says, good morning, everyone. Lisa said, that is amazing. Dr. Barry is awesome and his voice is very soothing. It is. Mom's here, says happy Sunday morning, y'all. Absolutely. Yay. So
good morning.
Yes, talking about self-sabotage.
Yes, back on that topic.
Yeah. So I know that I have a propensity to self-sabotage, which kind of what Richard said, since I know that about myself, I have to take extra steps to make sure that's what I'm not doing, or like to not let myself go that far, right?
Like you said, it takes time.
It takes time, right?
To learn that.
And it takes several instances of self-sabotage before you're just like, that's a pattern. That seems to be something that I do
running into walls.
Yeah, so here's my issue.
Over and over and over.
So here's what self-sabotage has looked like for me over the last few years, well, really my entire life, right? So in terms of my weight loss journey, just having that number on the scale. Remember 155, 160, like that number I've always wanted to get down to. And so I would do crazy things to get down to that number. And it just, the thought of trying to maintain that seems so unsustainable and like torture, because I didn't like the way that I was eating. I didn't like the way I was feeling. I barely liked the way I was looking, right? I just wasn't happy, right? I was at this weight, but I wasn't happy. And I didn't understand what it would feel like to not be trying to lose weight. And so, and I was just like, what I would do when I get to those weights, I would just binge eat and just blow myself right back up 10, 15 pounds. And then I'd be like, woo, now I can go back into weight loss mode, because wanting to lose weight or living in a way where I'm attempting to lose weight is what I'm most comfortable with. Right. And so living in a way where I'm trying to maintain my weight, not really comfortable. Like I hadn't really gotten to that point of that,
like
trying to maintain my weight.
The journey so much you don't want to stop.
I don't want to stop. So I got to, put myself backwards so that I can keep going again. Right. That's where I would self-sabotage. Right. And so that's what I realized I was doing. And I was just like, I can't do that. But it also starts with how I got there, right? It also, because it's easy to self-sabotage when what you're doing is hard, and it's enjoyable to self-sabotage when what you're doing is so restrictive. Like, look, there is no time. It's almost like this. When you're full, like I said, whether I'm full of keto food or like whether I'm full of like carby food and snacks, the feeling of full, I just feel great. And I don't want any other food at that point, right? So it's just like, it's a lot easier to resist something when you don't feel restricted, when you feel satisfied,
exactly.
Right? But if I had been like starving myself for 5 days, you know, say for instance, this birthday thing that we're doing, you know, my little snacks and whatnot. If I had been starving myself, like for or fasting, let's call it, right? For like the 3 days leading up to that, imagine how much like benefit and joy I would get from like totally going overboard because of the restrictive thing that I had to do right before it, right? So imagine how much easier it would be to self-sabotage because like I did this really crazy thing right before I just hit the sabotage mode, right? And so it's like, that's why the self-sabotage I've ever like engaged in the past was the easy option for me because it was so much more enjoyable than what I was doing right before it, you know? Whereas now I know that if I'm doing a sustainable, enjoyable thing, and that is what happens to lead me to my weight loss, I won't feel this need to rebel and backlash because there's nothing to lash out against because I've actually been enjoying what I was doing this whole time.
Look at you.
Yes.
Very impressed.
Yes, exactly. So
and it's the fact that you know and you understand, you see this now.
Yeah, exactly. I will say that
takes time.
And that takes time. He said, I fully credit Dr. Barry with all my success. I tell everyone that I do the Barry method of keto, hence not caring about calories. Yeah, the proper human diet, that PhD, like, yes. Gigi said, thanks for not letting Autumn tell us. I mean, a couple people knew. And hey, if I would have met, if anyone that meets Dr. Barry, the fact that he is already, the fact that he's confirmed the third party that he plans to be there, because I go back and
more reassuring for you.
Exactly. I was like, because right now I'm just talking to Dr. Barry. He can still like back out and he won't, but now that he's told other people that he plans to be there.
Because we all know your anxiety.
Thank you. Beth said Raven Simone's channel has the same music as another YouTube channel I watch and I can't figure it out. That's hilarious. I will watch it and see. But yeah, all that. Do you know I actually hear some music like in commercials, like TV commercials? I'm like, oh, that's free music. Like step your music budget game up, you know? Like, cause we go through listening to music all the time to figure out what to put in our videos. It's like license free, royalty free music. And so I'm just like, I remember like a Spectrum commercial. I was just like, y'all are using free music. Get your own music, Spectrum. Mary said, my husband, a smart man, he just waits for the word. Often I plan a sabotage and change my mind, so he just waits. He will or won't. Will he or won't he get the pizza? I know, right? Depending on if he goes with it. My husband never sabotages me, but I sabotage myself, and he doesn't ever stop me. He's gotten better at being like, are you sure that was in your plan? You're not really hungry, are you? But he's never like smacked me across the face and been like, you don't want this. Like, that's the sort of accountability I'm looking for, right? Lay them big mitts on me.
Such a good one.
Okay, well, never mind. The warden said, meeting y'all and hanging with the WAC fam was the selling point for me. Thank you. But no, don't get me wrong. I love me some Dr. Barry.
There you go.
I mean, but yeah, it's just, it is going to be absolutely amazing. Really Portia's here, says, good morning, Autumn and Richard. Cece's here, says, good morning, Autumn, Richard, and the family. Working today, so just jumping in to say hello. Well, hi, Cece. We're glad that you are here.
Good morning, Cece.
Mary T said that yes, the key is to enjoy the food that helps you get healthy and lose weight as much as the food that sabotages you. Then there's no need to go off because staying on is just fine. Exactly, right? And that's one thing that I realized is that I think it was intuitive carnivore that I tried this, because intuitive to me meant eat as much as you can try to, you know, just eat as much as you can. I realized that I felt just as satisfied, whether or not I was having like a whole pound of ground beef and a whole bag of moon cheese. Now, it wasn't good for my gut, I'll tell you that. But, you know, like I felt just as good having all of those, like the keto foods, because like I felt satisfied. My stomach felt satisfied, right?
You're in a great mind space.
Yeah, then just if I had gotten that same way eating junk food, right? It was really the feeling. It's not so much the food that gets me there, right? So as long as I can focus on the good food, then I can still have that feeling.
And there's the crux of it all. There's the riddle in between the riddle.
Yeah, Joe Ray said, honestly, I tried to do alternate day fasting, and fasting that long really triggered some binge eating tendencies. Yeah, I started to feel that too with my alternate day fasting. That's why I'm liking the protein sparing, because it's like I'm eating every day. So I'm not used to these huge like 2,500, 3,000 calorie days.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, that I used to be, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that worked for me for a really long time.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of going, like what works for you. Like it ebbs and flows. Yeah. Jerry said, I can't feel restricted like that. It wasn't that I even felt restricted. It was just that I started looking forward to wanting to eat very large quantities of food, right? And the thing is, I started to not be able to distinguish whether or not that should be every other day or every day. Like I got to the point where every time I sat down, I had to be eating 3,000 calories, right? Or I wasn't satisfied. And I don't want to get to that point, right? Exactly. Like I want to be able to feel satisfied with maybe 2,000 calories. Right now I'm working between 1,700. And don't get me wrong, with this alternate day fasting, I could always eat more. I'm never fully like, oh, this is so filling my mind. But I am satisfied, right? You know, but I'm never going to be like, if somebody was like, if I wasn't thinking about it, do I have the room for more? Yes, right? But I am mentally satisfied with the amount of food that I'm eating. And that's what I wanted, right? Jerry Van West said, good morning, lovelies. Had to fight to get the darn internet back up this morning. Reboot modem, reboot computer, and finally it's up. Well, we're glad you're here.
We know those feelings.
That is a lot. Exactly. So Jerry said, wow, that got violent. Slap me across the face. Make me stop.
Yes. You're such a goofball.
Dana said, how was the yard sale? Oh, we'll circle back to that. So,
oh my God.
He said, see, what had happened was, thank you. No, wait a minute. There's not what had okay, good. What had happened was I was telling Dr. B about us driving to Ketopalooza. When we passed through Nashville, we wanted to take him out to dinner. He said, as a matter of fact, I'll be at Ketopalooza also. Yeah. So, hey, if y'all want to, depending on what day he gets there or something, that steak, Brazilian steakhouse, that's still on the table. Pamela said, I'm working past being a people pleaser. I used to eat to make them happy. Is that a form of self-sabotage? Yes, it is. Like doing something intentionally that you know it goes against your best interest in the long run is self-sabotage, right? Now, self-sabotage, I would say, can even more be pronounced the closer you get to a specific goal. If you're look, if you have 100 pounds to lose, and then like when you lose 10 pounds, you like go back off plan and gain 10 pounds. Yes, that is self-sabotage. Like you were on a path and you steered yourself off that path. But if you have 100 pounds to lose and you lose 95 pounds and then you do something ridiculous to gain, 40 back, that is like real self-sabotage about getting so close to your goal and then doing something crazy to put you really far away from it, And so that is neither of them are good. That little incremental self-sabotage of like, it wasn't a total blowout, but you just notice like, it makes you have to work so long to get to your goal versus being really good for a long period of time and then just going super crazy and setting yourself way back. They're still bad. So,
That's so true. Again, it's all
TC said, any ideas for dealing with the shame of self-sabotage? That's a good question. And I'd love to hear more in the comments. I think it takes more than just saying, you just have to realize that's the type of person you are and you either accept it or you just get really honest with yourself that you're not going to do it anymore. Or if getting honest with yourself is not helping, I always say seek professional help, like if it's just if for some reason I can't stop doing this thing but I want to, that's when I seek professional help. Like if I ever got to I used to be that person, right? That didn't want to eat all the sugar. I just couldn't stop. Right. But now thankfully with the keto lifestyle, I know how to stop. So at this point, if I don't stop, it's because I don't want to, not because I'm unable to, and that is always to the point. And so now I recognize that about self-sabotage. If I keep doing it, it's because I want to keep doing it.
Kind of like the first step is to acknowledge the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
The second step
but if I truly didn't want to, but felt that I couldn't help myself, then that's when you got to seek something outside of yourself.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
But there's also that middle area where people just sometimes dip their toe out of the line. You know, you're micro self-sabotaging, but it's still the same thing.
Rashonda here says Grand Rising and happy Sunday. Hashtag Black Fam. Hoping all's well with everyone. Hi, Rashonda. I'm so glad you're here this morning. Been seeing you. I know. Been seeing you on the Facebook group. Don't forget, you can click the link to join the Whack Daily Keto Updates Facebook group to see all these superstars and rock stars posting in there.
Very true.
Yeah, like I have to, the way that I get past shame and guilt is just like thinking back to the time where I didn't feel that way about myself. Like you guys, sometimes I try not to feel shame, but sometimes, you know, and when I go crazy eating off plan, you know, 2 days in a row, gain 14 pounds, sometimes I'm just like, oh, why do you do this? And I have those thoughts of like, why do you keep like doing this?
Your head for the 500th time.
But what I remember and what I know to be factually true is all you have to do is eat right the next day and you'll immediately feel better, right? And so it's not this like 2 days in a row. You used to do something 2 days in a row. Yeah. So it's like
just make 2 good choices.
Whenever I think
there's the treat.
Oh no, Autumn, you're going back on a slippery slope. Why do you keep doing this? It's happening again. You know, like before those thoughts even get to snowballing, I'm like, boop. I know, and you guys know that it's easy for me to fast. All I have to do is just stop eating or go back to a regular way of eating, like plan and go back to keto. And I will immediately, y'all see me drop 9 pounds in a day. Like, you know, I'll immediately get to head right back. Right. And so that is why I know that it's just like, I can stop those bad thoughts, nip them in the bud with just relying like, okay, well, just 2 good choices. And that's all that it takes. Right. So that's how I feel.
2 good eating choices, 2 good exercise,
moving choices,
something back to back. That's 2 positive things.
Yeah.
And then just start that trend.
Exactly. Mary T said, my husband is always hoping for a sabotage. He would never stop me, but nor would he ever complain. I think he's just happy to have someone else to do all the food planning. I know, right? Well, you know, my husband does all his own food planning. So
I like cooking.
Yes, exactly. Renee said, good morning, Autumn and Richard. That's what I was talking about on Clubhouse, because everyone's like, what is it like when your family's not keto? And I was just like, you know what? I don't cook for my husband. But at the same time, he enjoys cooking. So like, I'm not making him suffer by forcing him to make his own food, you know?
I know how to do my marinades.
Yes. Oh, he knows his marinades. So, you know. Mary said, dang, you guys, I wish I could come to Keto Palooza in person. I'm working on my family to do the cruise in May. You might see me there. Absolutely. Don't worry. You're also in the virtual house. That's going to be just as lit. It's going to be a virtuation there, right? But yeah, definitely. It's happening next year. Tanya said, I'm finally recognizing and owning up to the things I do to self-sabotage. The truth hurts. Yeah, that's what I do.
And that's where we need to live.
Jervin West said, for me, making excuses for not doing what I know is right is also self-sabotage. Taking a day off due to pain is okay, but making excuses why I don't need to get out and get my steps is self-sabotage. Exactly. Like it is just, and all it takes is one of those choices to creep back in. So, Mary says sometimes a little sabotage helps on the journey, blows off a little steam so you can get back on track. Yeah. So speaking of that, look, the title of this is, I'm not going to call what I did yesterday self-sabotage by any means, but it was kind of a blow off steam. You remember I didn't eat my fasting meats?
Oh yeah, you did.
I didn't eat my fasting meats, did I? It was the yard sale.
We were far away from the house.
No, we were very close to the house. So look, yesterday was the first day that I didn't actually, I'm going to say Friday was the first day that I didn't stick with my protein sparing modified fasting macros.
What happened Friday?
I made those pork rind thingies, right? Yeah. And so look, it was all keto both days, and I didn't overeat. I didn't binge eat either day.
You did a perfect
thing. It just was not the macros that I set out to eat, right? So you remember when Chris was talking about just get some pork rinds and put some butter and then put some caramel macchiato.
I remember.
Yeah. So when we were going grocery shopping, and I said, you know what? I want to try that today, right? And that was just like a little steam blow off. There was a steamlet, like I want to try something different, right?
Look at you.
So I substituted the bacon. I didn't have the bacon, but I had the pork rinds with the butter. I used chocolate peanut butter. It was delicious. Now, granted, I will say I did add some granular sweetener. For me, just the keto chow scoop in the bag wasn't sweet enough, but y'all know me. I love sweet things, right? So I had some Lakanto that I also like, a couple, like a tablespoon or two. Yes. And once I shook that up, I was like, wow, really tastes like a Muddy Buddy. Like it was delicious, right? But that put me over my macros a little bit, but it was keto and it wasn't, a bad choice. Yesterday.
You substituted your bacon for it.
But it was still more than the 300 calories that were supposed to come from the bacon, right? So then yesterday was the yard sale, and it was raining in the morning, and we were this close to like, maybe she's not going to have it. Maybe she's not going to have it. But when we got over to Grandma's house, everybody was there. Yeah, it was just like, Lord. But nothing was set out yet. And so we literally had to wait the rain out. And then we waited for like 20 minutes after the rain finished, and then we all set the stuff out.
Didn't rain again the rest of the day.
Didn't rain again the rest of the day, and it turned into a typical yard sale. I was nervous because we didn't get set everything out till like 9 o'clock, right? And normally by 9 o'clock, 2 big waves of people have already come through. But I was like, oh no, are all the early people not going to come now? But no, they just came later. Like they came at 9:30.
Well, they were all waiting the rain.
They were all waiting the rain out too, right? So yeah,
bargain shoppers are.
So they ended up coming. It was a great yard sale. It was really fun. No, I mean, I just said that. It wasn't really fun. It was a yard sale. Like, it's just a lot of work, but it is what it is, is all I'm saying, right?
It was a lot of family.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, it was a lot of family. That's exactly what it was.
Fun is to you.
Exactly, right? So it was just what it was. And yesterday was supposed to be a fasting day, which for me just meant chicken, right? But we couldn't leave the house for a long time. But during the afternoon, I was like, you know what? I just need to go home. I need to go, once again, I don't live far from my granny. So I just need to go home. I need to decompress a little bit. I need to chill out. And so that's what I did. But when I got home, I did not eat my chicken. Here's what I did eat.
Uh-oh. Wait, you kept it the whole time?
No.
Oh, you're showing okay.
Yeah.
No, the yard sale was quite enjoyable, everyone. And by quite enjoyable, I mean very busy.
Yes. Okay.
Very
so
hot.
I ate Keto Crisp bar, and don't worry, I gave a lot of these to Mom for her birthday, right? And so there's still some up there, but I have the box because we recycle. I know you do. So we recycle. And then, okay, you guys, did you know that Lakanto has cookies? They have crunchy cookies. These are not the same as like high key. Like the mini cookies, they're not the same as the Kiss My Keto mini cookies. They look a little different and they're not my fave. Like I'm literally going to get, you don't want these, do you?
Well, I want the Keto Crisp.
I gave a lot to Mom.
Exactly. Next time, me first.
I'm sorry.
That's my favorite.
You're right. But see, don't worry. Now we get them every month. So, But these just are not as good. Mom, did you have these? Did you like these? Because if so, I'll make sure that you can come pick these up as well. Yes. But I had
an exchange. Bring 3 of those Keto Crisp bags.
I had a bag of these, and I was just like, these are just not super great. They're not my favorite.
Do an exchange. Bring back.
Oh my God, he's holding them for ransom. So.
And we can do an exchange.
I mean, sweetie, it was last week. They're probably all gone.
Exactly. I would have had those all gone.
So you would have not had those all gone. They would have been sitting there for a couple of months. Okay.
No, they wouldn't. And then you don't know my favorites.
So then I had some of that while I watched TV for a little bit. And then when we went back over to Grandma's house, Aunt Beverly had bought Pizza Hut, right? Pizza Hut. Mm-hmm. And so I had like the toppings off of 3 pieces of pizza. And it was sausage and pepperoni and red onion and green pepper. And it was delicious, right? So I just had cheese topping, right? And that was it. And so granted, once again, not super clean ingredients because Lord knows what sort of sugar was in the tomato sauce and things like that. Also, those are not, the 10 total carbs that my protein sparing macros have, right? Like it wasn't, but it was like a mild yellow day. It wasn't even too bad, but they were both yellow days. They weren't like the actual, this is what my protein sparing modified macros were. Mm-hmm. And so kind of to what Mary said, like it was just a little steam blow off. It was like, oh, it was fun to not be caught up in the same monotony every day. But by no means, I was just like, because you guys, my snack, and that's not even to mention the food that they had at Grandmama's house. You guys, them boxes of donuts. That ain't, of course, the boxes of donuts that Aunt Beverly bought. Then Grandmama had banana nut muffins, and then there were like these white chunk macadamia cookies, like normally things that I would have been able to like but I didn't have any of that. Like going off keto yesterday was not an option, but I did kind of like, have some other stuff.
No meat options.
Oh, Mary T said you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Exactly. Shelby said, can you send me some sunshine, rainy and gloomy here? Well, that's what it was for us yesterday. And it's partly cloudy. It's not super sunny right now. But it feels... it's good enough, better than it was yesterday. Blue Dove said, keto makes it easy for me not to self-sabotage. The worst I would likely do is overeat keto food. They are so tasty. Yes, exactly. So,
I was like, just give me meats. I'm like, meats and cheeses, and I'm fine.
Yes. Moving in silence says, yes, I agree. I added summer fruits to my keto diet. I know better, but I overeat up to 4 pounds in a month. I mean, it's all about the side, like what you're willing to do,
So as long as you can acknowledge.
Mary said, I tell the people I coach, you can BS me, but don't BS yourself. That's where you get in trouble. Exactly, right? Be honest with yourself.
I'll say Solomon.
Yes. Mary T said, I keto-fied almost everything I ate before. There wasn't anything to miss except pasta salad. Still haven't figured that one out. I bought some cognac pasta to try. Oh, good luck with that. I don't think it's
pasta salad.
Cold. Yeah. Like I don't know how that would be cold. I'd like to see that. Redirect said, do you have any snack ideas or meal suggestions if you don't eat pork? Tons of them.
Chicken?
Yeah. So, first I was going to go beef, right? So ground beef.
The other white meat.
Ground beef is delicious. Steak is delicious. What is it? Chicken is, but I'm going with seafood like salmon. I bought some mahi at Costco because I'm excited to try that, right? But yeah, like new stuff. There's tons of stuff. The only pork I eat is bacon. So
I would say chicken's a good alternative to pork.
Yeah, it is.
Or still stay with white.
If you still want to stay, and
But all meat is great.
But like the only pork I eat is bacon, really. So I can definitely cut bacon out of my diet and not have pork the whole time, right?
The whole pig.
No, so I mean, I'll eat pulled pork. I'll eat some, pulled pork if somebody makes it if I go somewhere, but I never need to make that in my house, right? So I definitely live a bacon-free life. So I don't know. And then snack ideas. Bacon is not even a snack. Like cheese is a good snack. Yeah. Avocados, like I'm just saying snack ideas. If you don't eat pork, that's not really a those don't even go together.
Cheese, you need beef jerky.
Yeah, nuts. Yeah. I mean, there's tons of options, right? Just cut out the bacon. That's how I feel. So,
which is a sad thing to say, but
see, Mom said Richard too late. I ate them all. That was for my birthday. I knew that was going to happen. So
just remember that was my favorite flavor.
Jerry Van West said we have a nice keto kitchen bakery by our house. We picked up some keto dessert. Yes. I have to reiterate to myself that just because it's keto friendly, you can't overindulge, self-sabotage. Yeah, I would need to do that.
I do not like the chocolatey keto crisps as much as the non-chocolate.
The almond butter. Yeah, that makes sense.
Literally the one.
Oh my God, Kelly said no Richard's Cafe at the yard sale. Luckily, no, not this time.
Oh no. Well, we didn't have
Penny said good morning.
Dopely stuff
Happy blessed Sunday. We're so glad that you're here. Exactly.
I wouldn't have minded but
TC said to redirect deviled eggs, beef, and turkey jerky. Oh, I love jerky. So
anything.
Sarah said mahi's good for fish tacos. I was like, I remember that. I was like, at all the restaurants I went to, I would always get mahi, like the fish tacos were made with mahi. I was just like, I can just eat all the stuff without the taco part of it,
the
fish, exactly, the cabbage in the fish, right? And that's all
great to me.
I know, right?
I always think that other stuff getting away anyway.
Mary T said, I have a good friend coming today to spend the night. I love feeding non-keto people delicious keto food. I mean, it's all delicious.
I was gonna say at one point it's just food.
Exactly.
Who don't like grilled meat?
Who doesn't like meat? Well, but see, but that's the problem. We've been so ingrained by society that like a bun goes with it, a starchy side dish goes with it.
Or a potato.
Exactly. That's where you start to be like, like where's the sides and where, like serving up a bunless burger is just like, that's that can seem a little off. I really want to try beef bacon. I've seen that in the store.
Like, shaved beef, or you can make a lot of different things and just make a side out of it.
But if you have a steak, then it's just like, maybe you could do a salad and a steak, or like a steak and
like wilted spinach or something.
Yeah, but steak and cream spinach, I would say. But like most times, it's like, where's the potato? Where's the mash? Where's something?
Hold on, who making this dinner here? Take your butt down the street to a restaurant.
Jervin West said, bacon is a snack for me. I migrate to eat meat versus fat bombs, keto, chocolate, etc. Yes, that's what I was saying. Like, you can use bacon as a snack. Don't get me wrong, but like, it doesn't have to be. There's cheese. Yeah, there's cheese. There's nuts. Out of it. Also, I would try to get rid of snacking. Like, once again, not to get on my snacking high horse, but like, there's no reason to eat something in between a meal. Like, just eat a whole meal, right? Snacking is usually mental. Usually, if you want a snack, that's what we call dessert. Just put it on the end of your meal, but don't necessarily think I have to eat all this stuff and then let me wait a couple hours and eat again, and then let me wait a couple hours and then eat again. Like, no, just like eat your meals and don't have anything between that. So I don't.
So that's what you're working on now?
I don't snack. I don't snack at all. Yeah, I don't snack. I might have snacks as part of my meal prep, but I don't ever. That's why you see me. I eat all my food at once. I'll eat my meat. I'll eat the beef. Then I'll go get the salmon. Then I go get the and then I'm done. Like, I don't snack outside of my normal. Because there's just no need for it. Tanya said boiled eggs, smoked salmon, olives. Can't do that. Become my go-to snacks lately since I'm protein sparing. So olives are also a good thing. Pamela said, I love beef bacon. So yes, Jerry said, what do you mean he don't eat no meat? It's okay. I make lamb. That's my big fat Greek wedding. It's one of my favorites.
It's one of your favorites.
Mary T said, non-keto people think keto is weird. Then you feed them keto food. Yeah. And they say, exactly. We were talking about that on Clubhouse. I mean, why is it so, like, why is it the standard to eat packaged processed food? Like, that, it's just what's normal. It's what's accepted, when really, like, just why isn't it normal to just eat whole food? When you don't eat processed things, you're like super radical. Like bread. Bread is packaged and processed, or snacks, having like honey buns or your little candies, or chips, packaged processed, not having that stuff is like radical, where it's just accepted. Oh, burger, chips, bread,
again, I think it's stuff we've all been embedded into our brain.
Steak and cabbage is good.
It takes a while to get that out. It's not a light bulb moment.
Just said, where's the garbage I'm going to add to the delicious meat? Exactly. That's what Richard thinks. So, Mary T said, I was going to say the same. If you want a snack, you aren't eating enough at your meal. Yeah, there's just never a need to snack. He said we have several Jewish diners near us. We went for breakfast and I forgot they only serve beef bacon. It's good. I don't know if I've ever had it.
You got a bad taste in your mouth, maybe some chewing gum or something.
Jess said, I'm currently carnivore OMAD, but I'll be done with that soon. Yeah, you can cycle in and out. So it is. Dana said, how about grabbing gum when you want a snack, or is that considered a snack? So gum is probably one of the things I would go to. It still has like a sweetener bomb in it, whether that's like sucralose, xylitol, something. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. And I think I had gum a couple days ago, and I was just like, for one carb, once again, you're not going to make me feel bad about that, right? So it's just like when you're chewing 9 pieces of gum a day where you're like, whoa, what's going on, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's also assessing, once again, when I have a piece of gum, it's always because like, oh, that would be fun. I want a piece of gum. Not because like, oh, I need something. So let me just, make a better choice and choose gum. If I feel that like, oh man, I really need something, I have learned to take a step back and be like, do you? Like, why would you feel that need, that much of a need for food?
Particularly, it's when I have a bad taste in my mouth. So you just got something, some backwater, something happening.
Yes.
Or like, to freshen your breath and stuff like that. Like, it actually does work.
Yeah, but not if you're like to keep yourself from eating. You don't ever chew gum to keep yourself from eating.
You get like, there's a limit. It's like 1 a day. To 9 a day.
Kelly says sometimes I snack out of habit, like watching TV. I never do that. I watch TV when I eat, but I eat my meals. Like I never can snack. And there's nothing that I even have in the house that I would be able to snack on. Like pork rinds or I think snacking is just like eating things out of a bag, like without the portion control.
Hit your knee and your knee flips up. Just you sitting there
Tanya said, as a diabetic,
so
I've learned to give myself enough space between meals instead of constant snacking. Eating 6 times a day is hard on the digestive system. Exactly. And then every time you eat, you have an insulin response, right? You want to get to the point where you're limiting the number of insulin responses that you have throughout a given day. So, Mary T said, I always laugh at my friends who say they don't eat processed foods, but they eat bread, nacho chips, store-bought salad dressing. Exactly. That has just been ingrained of like, that's normal, you know? And I'm just like, so when you only eat whole food or like real food that you cook, that's when it's like, nobody does that. Or that's when you're in the minority.
And like you said, and you have to show people. And most people, like I said, this has been baked into the cake. You know what I mean? Like to get that out from small age, we think Fruit Loops and orange juice and toast is a breakfast. It's like a complete breakfast, you know? Yeah. That takes time to get out of your brain. You know?
You're right about that.
It takes a long time to get that and to bend that arc.
Okay, so let me weigh myself. Gigi, did you? I thought, you know what? Now that I think about it, I did see the 30-minute mark. My bad. Sorry about that. Okay, so so what we talked about Friday, I overate, or I ate outside of my macros because I had those delicious keto chow pork rind Muddy Buddies, right? So I stepped on the scale and it was 193.2. So that was 1.2. That's not bad. You know, it's still in the same range that I'm in, right? And then yesterday was the yard sale. That's when I had the, snacks and then the cheese toppings, right? So once again, all completely keto, just not necessarily my protein fast macros. So I stepped on the scale this morning, 193.2, right? So that's plus minus 0. Sweetheart, I see the job that you did cleaning off all my little thingy here. I really appreciate that. So I am okay with this because if you think about it, I'm kind of halfway through my little protein sparing modified fasting experiment. So having some sort of blow off steam day, I'll call it a steam day, having a steam day, having a yellow day kind of, and look, technically we can call this a refeeding day because that's what they tell you to do in protein sparing modified fast. Every 1 or 2 weeks, have a refeeding day, but it's still not with the snacks that I ate, right? Not with the dirty, food, but still you just eat more than normal. So I did eat more than usual, but as you can see, it still didn't have, I'm still in that range. So today I'm excited to be right back at it. Today is an eating day. So part of me was like, I was going to make today a fasting day with chicken, because yesterday was supposed to be my fasting day, but I'm like, no, just get right back to it. If today was supposed to be eating day with your bacon and your 6, 7, 8, then make today an eating day, right? Exactly. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll be going back and forth. So tomorrow will be a fasting day. So yeah, that's how I feel. TC said, I found almond flour mission taco shells. Love them. Good if you are low carb like me, not necessarily keto. Bought egg life to try. Also, that's good. Absolutely. Just said, hey, I ordered my ticket already. Am I supposed to be expecting anything in the mail? No, not the snail mail. So everything will be digital. So be on the lookout for the next couple of weeks when I'm going to be sending more information as we get closer and closer to Keto Palooza. And then, of course, when you get there, that's when you get everything. Now, all of my virtual people, yes, your packages will be coming in the mail like the second week of September. So I'm trying to time it so that you get it like a couple days before Keto Palooza. But I'd much rather you have it way early than like late by any means, right? So that's what's happening. Renee said, I'm proud of myself. I have not had a stick of gum since the first. I broke my addiction. That's amazing. See, Renee. You really can be addicted to gum. Like you really can be.
Because it's 9 plus pieces. I'm like,
Renee said, I chew so much gum that I should have taken stock in orbit. Exactly.
If you're not gonna pack a day, you need to have a conversation.
Jess said, I don't really like weighing daily because hydration levels can swing it so hard. I do once a week because I hate seeing any plus on the chart. Exactly. I've got to the point where I'm completely desensitized to the number on the scale. I do not care what it says. It has no indication of how I feel about myself. It's just like, oh, fun note, right?
Exactly. So, because you've removed all the stigma.
Yes. Oh my God. Mary T said, probably the salt putting some water in you. You are going to be in the 180s next week. I just know it. I'm speaking that. Everyone claim the 180s, right? But you know what I am going to be definitely doing? Eating on track the whole time. It was just, I have no reason not to. And I'm really proud. You guys don't understand. Every time I'm off plan, I go over my granny's house looking for food. I like, you know what? Yes. What snacks does she have? Because she always gets those random snacks from the free food place, right?
I always look over them.
I look for them.
I need like sausage.
What snacks do I want, right?
I don't care about the cookies.
She never has any snacks when I'm off plan. I was like, Grandma, where are your snacks? And she's just like, oh, they didn't have anything this week. So like days like yesterday, like that would have just been the best thing for, I mean, there were donuts, there was cookies, there was muffins, there was pizza. These are things that like an off-track Autumn dreams about. But I was just like, damn it!
You did a good job.
Because I just did it, you know. And
I think that just shows the evidence of you being in a much better headspace.
Yeah, I am in a much better headspace.
Yourself.
So all I was gonna say is, instead of super duper like rebelling out and not going keto, I had some Lakanto cookies. You know, like that was me like being like, well, dang it, if everyone else is going nuts, I'm going nuts too, right? You know, so I'm really proud that I did that in the way that I did it. And as you can see, it wasn't overboard as my weight stayed the same, right? So I have worked that, rebellion bug out of my system, and I'm looking forward to being back on track the rest of the month and just staying consistent.
Not that long left.
Yeah, not that long left, right? And then, you know what I've been thinking? Even so after Richard's birthday, then what, right? Like, I'm honestly liking the way that I eat right now. Like, I really like the protein sparing modified fasting. And so after Richard's birthday, I'm just going to go back to that. And then I may or may not give myself like your taping days, you know, because this particular taping day, I was on a mission, right? I was like, you will not break me. But every other taping day, especially when I can just enjoy that food, you know, I don't ever feel guilty about having bites of those foods, right?
And samples anyway.
Exactly, right? I don't ever feel guilty about having samples. So, you know, unless I'm super making it a point to not go deviate at all, but other days I might, you know, so I was like, maybe I'll just go back to PMSF and then on Richard's taping day, eat the gourmet food, you know, and then we'll take the next occasion as it comes, right? But I'm just really, I can say that even though we're getting to like Richard's birthday and I know that I'm going to enjoy those snacks and the red lobster and the things like that, that I'm not thinking, oh, I'll be done with protein sparing modified fasting. Like, I'm just like, I could just go right back to it. Like, I like eating this way, you know?
My birthday's only one day.
It's only one day, 2 days. Ish celebration. I don't either way, right? You guys, you know me. So
my birthday's only one day. We can celebrate it as many days as you like.
Yes. Joe Ray said after this week, because I can't control the menu on the ranch, the plan is no off-plan days until Keto Palooza. Whoop, whoop. You can do that. And make good choices on that ranch. Make good ranch choices. Although I know you can. But see, I bet on the ranch they're going to have things like potato salad and baked beans and chips. And did you ask for the gluten-free menu? Get the gluten-free menu is all I'm saying. Oh, Mary says, I feel like a proud mom will listen to you right now. You're my inspiration, Mary. I'm just like, stop making it so difficult. Mary says keto every day. Just do it, damn it. That's how I feel.
My God.
No, that's how I feel. TC said, have to go off to Dad's making burrito bowls for lunch. Oh, that sounds delicious. Yay. Oh, Jess said, look, it was great to see your faces. Got to run to church. Well, if everybody's leaving, then we need to leave too, right? So I know. Speaking of that just reminded me of Raven Simone. Was like, oh, I'm gonna go watch those videos now, right? So I'm gonna watch some Raven Simone videos, especially she's talking about keto. So have a great day, everyone.
Yes.
But don't worry, we'll see you back here tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Have a good day. Bye.
Goodbye.